night, live improv from New York City and around the country. We really are around the country. And I want to introduce the fabulous cast. We have, we've already changed some of our names. I like it anyway. We have JL. Hello, JL. And we have Stephen. And we have Beth Ann. Thank you, Beth Ann. There's Jackie G. Yay. There's Don. There's Barry. Thank you, Barry. And cute. And I'm your host, Scotty Watson. So let's get to work. We're going to meet some interesting people right now. We're going to meet the inhabitants of a very small town called Goon River. Now, Goon River, they have some decisions to make on the horizon. They have a potentially difficult issue on their plates. And one thing you know about the inhabitants of Goon River, they're opinionated. They're opinionated, I'll tell you that much. So first thing, can I please get what is a big item a big piece of news in the life of a small town? It's something that this town is in discussion over. What is something big to happen in the life of a small town?
The circus is coming to town.
Circus, yes. Now here's the thing about the circus and Goon River. Some of the people in Goon River are for it. They love the circus. Other people in Goon River are against it. They absolutely do not want this circus to come to town. But nobody in the town is neutral. So this is a good time. We're going to meet the people of Goon River. Now is a good time if you want to create a character, if you want to go ahead and change a name on your little name tag thing. That's cool too. And let's meet the inhabitants of Goon River. The first person I wanted to chat with today is Henrietta McGillicuddy. How nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, Mr. Watson, I'm so pleased to be able to introduce you to our town because, I mean, we just have the most wonderful town. It's just so open. Oh, nice. Really just loves it here. And so I own a pet store. And I'm a little nervous. I'm excited about the circus coming, but I'm a little nervous because I don't want to overexcite my pets with all the noises. You know, when the circus comes in, they come right down Main Street and the parade. And so I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous.
Sure, it's good to be excited and nervous, and I understand that it's gonna scare your pets a little bit. Yeah. You sound I'm sorry, I don't have the best prescription in my lenses. You sound a little like you're kind of young to own your own store.
Oh well, it was my parents' store, and they died. Well, I don't want to talk about that, but
I understand.
I was only 16 when I took over the store, and I love my little animals so much.
All right, then. That's lovely. Nice to meet you, Henrietta. I see. Oh, you know who you've touched? You've touched the heart of PP Horizon. PP, you know, it's nice to meet you. Tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? Are you for it or against it?
Thanks, Scotty. I too have taken over my parents' business. Where I'm a roach herder, and I just think it would be really great for our circus to bring my skills in. So I'm all for it.
Wait a second. You think that you're going to get a job with your roach herding in the circus?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, cool. And just out of curiosity, do you know any good orthodontists in town?
I think we need a good orthodontist.
I think so. Yeah. There's no reason why I say that. I just like, you know.
It's okay. I know the impediment I have, Scotty. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring. I apologize.
I've suffered through it, for several decades now.
Wow. Okay. And Jennifer Troutman. What a lovely name. So, what do you do in town, Jennifer?
Thank you, Scotty. I moved here only recently, and Troutman is the name of my third husband. I was born Jennifer Silver. but I have to say, it's been so hard living without a man.
Sure.
And I moved here with the idea of maybe starting a flower shop, straw baskets, that sort of thing.
Sure, but right now, you're mostly in the business of hunting for a gentleman caller.
Scotty,
I'm just,
you nailed that
Thank
so exactly.
and are you?
Exactly.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you.
You must be one of those people who really understand the ladies.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I was a gentleman caller myself once upon a time, many years ago. Were you for or against the circus coming to town?
I was all for this circus
Good.
because I knew that a circus brings in all kinds of people. And it turns out that Goon River was such a small town, smaller
Really?
than I realized.
Mhm.
And so I'm all for an influx of interesting folk.
Fabulous. Well, me too. Maybe I'll see you at the circus. I'm gonna massacre your last name. I'm so sorry, Tawny Matsayich.
That's right. You got it right.
Matsayich.
That's right.
Matsayach.
That's the way. That's how you say it.
Matsayach.
Well, that's what it's the way. It's the way we were saying it. And I want you to know that I have a one-of-a-kind shop, a one-of-a-kind where you can buy everything. I have one of everything, only one of everything.
Sure.
It's called 99-cent store. Nothing is 99 cents.
So the two things that everything in the store has to do with each other is that there's only one of them, even I'm assuming shoes, and that nothing is 99 cents.
Yes, that's right. That's all we have. It's just one of everything.
That is very innovative. Now, were you for or against the circus coming to town?
Oh, well, I think it's a good idea to have a circus come to town. We can actually have all kinds of people that be willing to come to buy things that they don't have, like maybe a shoelace or maybe a cap or something like that. When they watch, you want to watch the animals. You want to have a cage on your face so that they don't run into you. We have many of those kinds of things.
Oh, that's great, because I'm bringing a friend, so we could both buy a cage from your store. Oh, you only have one.
One.
I got it. Okay, I got it now. Joni Jenkins. Hey, JJ. Do they call you JJ around town?
They do at the moment.
Ah, good. So, Joni, please tell us, what did you do in Goon River?
I can trust you to keep a secret.
Absolutely not. No, we're broadcasting this. This is a documentary.
Well, if this is my big shot, I'm going to blow it all right now.
Okay.
I came here to be the next Ralph Nader. I am going to expose all of the corruption in Goon River.
Nice.
I really have been chasing the circus all these years and taking all the notes, making sure to take all the notes for my book, my movie, all the stuff.
Well, then you are a well-informed person when I ask this question. Are you for or against the circus coming to town?
The circus and its cruelty? Are you kidding? Who could possibly be for that?
I understand. A lot of people don't like the animals, the cruelty. Yeah, I hear that. Last but certainly not least, Basil Lancaster. I hope I'm saying it the correct way rather than Lancaster. Is it Lancaster or Lancaster?
Lancaster, of course.
Oh, excellent. What'd you do in Goon River, sir?
Well, I decided to bring a haberdashery to this quaint little town. High quality hats for all occasions.
And so you sell nice hats.
I do.
Men's and women's?
Men's and women's.
Sweet. Now tell me about the circus. Were you for it or against it?
I am against that filthy,
Ooh.
whatever you call it. They sell cheap knockoff hats that fall apart in the rain.
But wouldn't the circus be a place where people could show off their nice hats?
This is true, but they don't come to me for their hats. They go to the circus and they buy them for $1 each, and they fall apart when the wind blows wrong.
Yeah, that's no
Bad
good.
for
We can't
business.
have
Bad
that.
for business.
All right, then. Thank you. It's nice meeting everyone from Goon River. I want to talk about the day before the circus actually came to town. Some of you were working very, very hard to prevent the circus from opening the next day. I know that sometimes you met in groups. You took action against it. I know some of you were planning to picket. So I want to talk about the day before. I'd like to talk about what you did to further your ends, and maybe who you saw, who you were with, and what the heck? I'm gonna start with Jennifer. Jennifer, tell me, what were you doing the day before the circus?
Well, Scotty,
Mm-hmm.
the day before the circus, I was planning my outfit. I picked out the cutest little gingham dress,
Nice.
and I chose my hat that I had gotten from Basil, and I put some flowers in it.
Lovely.
So I was just getting myself all ready to welcome the crowd.
Oh, how wonderful. Now, did you happen to see anybody that day?
Well, I saw Basil. He is one manly man.
Yes, he is.
But he was not happy. He was stomping around, and he was almost spying. But I'll tell you, not spying as much as that JJ was.
Interesting.
She was spying with a notepad and a pen.
All right, then I'm going to follow up with both of them, if that's all right with you. First, let's start with you, Basil. I understand that Jennifer saw you stomping around, even though you sold her a hat. What was going on?
Was that not a gorgeous hat?
It was pretty nice.
It was modeled after the one the Queen wore to the latest steeplechase.
Oh,
It's
they're
gorgeous.
still doing that. That's
Yes, very nice. And yes, I was working with Ms. Jenkins. We are working on a lawsuit together, and so she's gathering the evidence needed to put that circus into the ground where it belongs.
Well, let me follow up with Joni Jenkins then. Joni, you were witnessed by Jennifer meeting with Basil, who was stomping his foot as you prepared a lawsuit. Is that true? And what were you doing?
Basil and I were just talking.
Mm-hmm.
I must say, though, Jennifer has some impeccable taste when it comes to hats and dresses. I really need to take some notes after her.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did see,
Yes.
I did see that Henrietta was peeking outside of her pet store door. I made a note of it. It was at 10:01 a.m.
Well, let's go to Henrietta. Henrietta, I understand that at 10:01, I'm sorry, p.m. or a.m., Joni?
A.m.
A.m. You were peeking outside of your pet store the day before the circus. What was going on?
Well, Scotty, I had been very nervous about the parade and the circus and everything, and its effect on the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just stepping outside to see if Tawny had his one-of-a-kind store open, because he has given me some excellent things in the past. Oh, I mean, the leash I once got from him was just, and I got a can of dog food from him once that was. So anyway, I was hoping that I could go down and maybe find something that would calm my animals down a little bit. But I saw that Joni person standing there scowling and writing everything down, and she sort of frightened me. So I went back inside and just closed because I
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Cocoa.
She takes notes on everything. You don't have to be scared. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to check in with Tani then. Tani Matsalavas Yachnitz.
That's right. That's how to pronounce my last name.
Excellent. Now, I understand that you bumped into Henrietta the day before the circus.
Well, that's exactly right. I was in my store and I was putting all of the new things. I had gotten a new shipment because I wanted to have circus posters and I wanted to have pictures of animals.
Sure.
And I wanted to have murals with many different animals and circus people like trapeze artists and so many. It would be a wonderful, wonderful sale. As soon as the circus opened up, I would do that.
Shouldn't you only have one animal?
One of each. That's right. There was one of each.
Kind of like half a Noah's Ark.
Yeah, that's right. It would be half of Noah's Ark.
An R. Okay, let's go over to PP Horizon. PP, what were you doing the day before the big event, and who did you see?
Well, I was talking to my roaches, and I was telling them the circus is coming to town.
Yep.
And, the roaches, they were just so excited. And so they started to rehearse by themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I was so happy to see them rehearsing. And I said, hey, why don't we all just go over and see the circus, kind of building out, like they're there and they're putting up their tents. And so I was about to go over there, but I realized that a couple of my roaches, like 200 or 300 of them,
sure,
they wanted to do the high wire walk, and I just didn't have any wires, so I went over to the 99-cent store, and I brought all my roaches with me, and we just started searching for the high wire.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's difficult when you have a lot of roaches and you're getting high. It's tough.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
And they like to get high too.
Sure. Don't they just? All right. Now, I know this is going to be difficult for all of you, and I want to apologize ahead of time. I want to talk about the unfortunate incident that happened when they opened the circus that day. I know it was difficult. Let's start with you, Basil. What happened to you, Basil, on the day of Basil, on the day that they opened the circus? What happened to you?
Well, they opened the circus and they opened that charlatan of a hat dealer in the front to poke fun at my haberdashery. And so I stomped over there, I did. I stomped over to that circus and I tripped on one of their guy wires. It was not well, there was no warning labels. There was no warning ribbons. It was dark and I couldn't see it. And I tripped over it and I fell, and there happened to be a fake unicorn hat. Well, yes, right through the neck.
Wait, you were skewered through the neck with a fake unicorn hat.
At the circus, yes.
That is simply awful.
And it was plastic. It wasn't real.
Oh, irony. Thy name is Unicorn Hat. I'm so sorry about that. Let me find out from Joni. Now, Joni, what happened? I understand you were on the scene when Basil got it with the neck, but what happened to you?
I was taking notes. I was taking copious notes. I even reached into my bag to get my camera out, and I realized I had run out of ink in my pen.
Sure.
And so I ran across and tripped over Basil and went head first into the fountain in front of the haberdashery there at the circus and drowned. You drowned?
That is so odd, because all one needs to do is pull one. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna.
The irony is it was a fountain pen.
Oh, fountain pen. Let's talk to Tani about that. Now,
I have one.
Oh, then it wasn't. Then Joni's fountain pen wasn't your fountain pen.
No, we have one fountain pen. Stein, would you like me to save it for you?
Please
Because
do.
we do have one fountain pen.
Love
If
to
I
have
was
it.
alive, I would sell it to you.
Oh, well, that brings me to my question. Now, Basil got skewered through the neck, and Joni drowned in the fountain right there. What happened to you?
Well, I was looking at the beautiful, beautiful tent. I say, you know what? What they need is some more wire. So I ended up taking a spool of wire and I went over, if you will, to the big top, and I went over to the MC and I said, would you like some wire? And he says, well, certainly I would. And as soon as he said that, I heard a creaking noise coming from above. And he looked up and I looked up, and the big top started getting smaller and
Oh, no.
smaller and
You got,
smaller and
oh, dear. Oh, dear.
smothered by a big top.
Oh, that's awful. Okay. Well, then I want to check in with Jennifer. Jennifer, I understand that you were right there at the time. Basil got it in the neck, and Joni was drowning. Tawny was being squished. What happened to you?
It was a horrifying scene.
Sure.
The emergency people were coming from the outside, and the visitors under the tent were racing out from the inside. And I was just wearing high-heeled sandals and a gingham dress, and I was trying to avoid everybody and also make eyes at some of the men.
Yeah.
And somehow or other, I just tripped in a very embarrassing way, I must say, and was then trampled by the crowd.
Oh, that's awful. What a terrible way for you to go, to be tramped like that.
Terrible, and ripped my dress
Oh,
and knocked the flowers off my hat.
never gingham, always taffeta. Sorry. When I heard about wire, that Basil tripped on the wire, I immediately remembered that PP Horizon was working on a wire act. So how did you die that day? Poor Jennifer was trampled. Tawny was smothered. What happened to you?
Well, Scotty, you're right. We acquired some of that high wire, and the roaches. My thousands of roaches were just so excited. They just were talking amongst themselves, squeaky, squeaky, squeak. And they were scratching. And I generally wear a lot of the roaches on me. It's great. It's fun. It's great. And we were there. We were walking, and they were just following me. I was like the Pied Piper of roaches. And they saw all the mayhem. My poor roaches. They were just so. They were just so upset. And,
Sure.
And they all at once just decided to, they were so scared, and they needed me. They needed me, Scotty.
Yeah.
And they just filled into my mouth.
Oh dear.
And I was just, I was just suffocated by my own herd of roaches.
Wow, that is, of all the deaths we've heard of today, that one I saw coming from a long, long way away. That's one who lives by the roach, dies by the roach.
Yes.
Sad,
I'm in
sad.
roach heaven now.
At least it's not a roach hotel. So, Henrietta, I hope that you made it through. Did you make it through? I'm hoping against hope. You're so, oh dear, I don't like the look on your face. So what happened to you that day?
Well, so I was just in my shop, peeking out every so often to see what was going on.
Staying safe.
And there was all this noise and traffic, people running about. And so I opened my door to let a few people run in to get away from the crowd, because I saw poor Jennifer get crushed.
Yeah.
So a whole group came in, including a bunch of teenagers. And I'm always a little afraid when there's teenagers in the store.
Oh,
Some teenagers are lovely. They're just lovely people.
sure.
But some are just not mature enough yet to be in a pet store.
Hmm.
And teenagers started opening my cages and chanting things that they were from PETA, people against,
Oh,
you know what I mean.
yes.
The animals started getting out and running around the store. And my monkey, oh God, my monkey, he's such a little,
Monkey.
he's mischievous. And he ran out the door, and so I went out the door chasing him. And there was this stampede of people and the
Mhm.
circus, and there were all these cages of the animals there.
Uh-huh.
He went up to the elephant cage.
Oh, dear.
He opened the elephant cage and he
Yeah.
went inside and got up on the elephant, which was fine for him. But then the elephant came out, and I was trying to get him down off the elephant, and the elephant didn't see me. And it
Oh,
just stepped on me.
oh, I could have seen that coming. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I hope the monkey made it. Well, I know that this was very traumatic for all of you. And I want to thank you for sharing your story. And more than that, I want to thank you for watching their story, because we have, thanks everybody, we have live improv on a Friday night, and there's more where that came from. So you stick around.